Welcome, I'm Melinda Kimami. Tonight, I am okay, President Buhari assures Nigerians as he receives his media team in London, insists he's following his doctor's advice. PDP extends tenure of the McAfee-led caretaker committee for 4 months, vows to take over power in 2019 as it holds its non-elective convention in Abuja. Federal government delegation visits Anambra State, condoles with the state government and families of the victims of last Sunday's attack on a church in Ozubulu. And violence erupts in some parts of Kenya following announcement of Uhuru Kenyatta as the winner of the country's presidential elections.
And on business news tonight, economic analysts forecast Nigeria's inflation to drop further to 15.96% in July, ahead of data released by Bureau of Statistics next week.
On sports news tonight, Catalan giants Barcelona begin life without Neymar in the Spanish Super Cup as they look horns with perennial rivals Real Madrid.
We'll begin tonight with the visit of the President's media aides to London, where they met with the nation's #1 citizen who says he's okay, but will only return home on the advice of his doctors. The visiting team is led by the Minister of Information, Alhaji Lai Mohammed. Other members of the team include the Special Advisor to the President on Diaspora, Mrs. Abike Dabiri-Erewa, his Special Assistant on Media and Publicity, Mr. Garba Shehu, Special Advisor on Media and Publicity, Mr. Femi Adesina, and Personal Assistant on Social Media, Loretta Onoche. The President has been in London on medical vacation for more than 90 days, and various groups in the country have been demanding to know the President's health status. The President exchanged pleasantries with his visitors and commended them for the good work they've been doing.
Good afternoon. We are all over the place.
Thank you very much, sir.
I see you every evening in the flesh.
Thank you.
It's very good.
Thank you very much, sir.
At least by the press, you are working very hard.
Meanwhile, 2 of his aides who visited President Muhammadu Buhari, Mr. Femi Adesina and Abike Dabiri-Erewa, expressed delight in seeing him again.
He has said that now he has learned to obey orders. You know, Mr. President is the retired general. He was the one who used to issue the orders. But now the shoe is on the other foot, and he is the one that must obey orders. So he says he must obey the orders of his doctors. So we look forward to the doctors giving him the green light to proceed to Nigeria.
So we just appeal to Nigerians to continue to pray for Mr. President. He's going to come back, inshallah, to Nigeria to continue what he's been doing. And right now, there's really no vacuum. And Mr. President is happy about that.
Now, one of those groups asking about the President is the Concerned Nigerians group, who are still at the Unity Park in Abuja, demanding that he returns or resigns. They explained that the protest is not an attack on President Muhammadu Buhari, but a demand for good governance and development. The co-convener of the group, Mr. Deji Adeyanju, affirms that the fight against corruption and other government activities have been stalled because of his absence.
We wish to state categorically that this is not personal at all. We don't have anything personal against the president, you know, and we don't have anything personal against the government.
Exactly.
You know, we support even the anti-corruption war, and we support some of the policies. What we are saying is that the president's absence is stalling governance in the country, and that there are certain policies of government that the president said he was going to do in 2016 and in 2017, and even the budget. You can see the performance ratio, because the president is not always on ground, and there's no due diligence in government. So you can see that things are going bad. Even the anti-corruption war is suffering because the president is not around. You know, and several other government issues. You know, look at the economy, look at the naira, you know, and several other issues of employment, issues of power, because there's no solid supervision, you know, in government. So it's just like as if it's just business as usual, you know. So those are the key issues that we are calling upon the government and the people to hold this government accountable for.
Some party politics now. Nigeria's main opposition party, the People's Democratic Party, has extended the tenure of the Ahmed Makafi-led caretaker committee for 4 months, effective today. This was part of major decisions taken today at the party's non-elective Congress, which took place at the Eagle Square in Abuja. Our correspondent, Larry Lasisi, tells us more.
From the entrance of the Eagle Square, it is clear this is no ordinary gathering. A carnival-like convention, they call it. The enthusiasm is palpable. And from all indications, the color and the excitement tells it all. Hundreds of delegates of the People's Democratic Party, the PDP, converge here on the nation's capital, turning out to witness the non-elective convention of the party. It's the first since the Supreme Court verdict. Nigeria's former president, Goodluck Jonathan, and his vice, Namadi Sambo, led other party leaders.
Power to the people.
The chairman of the National Caretaker Committee highlights the significance of the convention and the party's projection for the 2019 general elections.
Today is a further affirmation that PDP is government in working, God willing. For our president, we continue to pray for his full recovery. We want him to be fit and on seat when we will defeat the APC government from presidency.
Although it is a non-elective convention, the PDP also takes some major decisions, such as extending the tenure of the National Caretaker Committee by 4 months.
Those who are in favor that we further extend the tenure of the National Caretaker Committee by 4 months, effective from 12 August 2017, say aye. Those who are against, say nay. The ayes have it.
Other members of the party express optimism that the caretaker committee will be able to conduct an elective convention in December that will elect substantive principal officers that will drive the vision of the party.
What the caretaker committee have been told to do from this August to October, you should have conducted the congresses of these various states. Then in November, you conduct the congresses of all the states that will lead to the national convention, which will take place in December, first week of December. So with commitment and zeal, there's no way we cannot organize an elective convention.
If we could do so well today and bring everybody together today with such joy, I mean, this is a convention of love and unity. I have no doubt whatsoever that we will put forward the right candidates for the various National Working Committee positions, and then from there we move forward. The key is to be able to put something in place, or a team in place, united, strong, peaceful elections, free and fair elections, and we will sweep them out of power in Jesus' name.
The non-elective convention has come to an end, and everyone here believes it's been a huge success. The next big test for the party will be the elective convention, which will be coming up in 4 months' time. Lanre Lasisi, Channels Television News.
And more angles to that event, which happened today at the nation's capital, Abuja, where Nigeria's major opposition party is now eyeing the seat of power at the center 2 years after the ruling APC knocked them out. Our political correspondent, Seun Okinbaloye, shows us another side to the PDP National Convention.
The atmosphere is simply electric. Amidst the chaos that has enveloped the PDP in the past months, the task of rebuilding the party stares them in the face.
No turning back, no turning back. PDP!
But at these grounds, it appears they have a common agenda.
The PDP is ready to move things to 2019. When we'll say to Nigerians, we are back.
It is not a joke. Some of the leaders look like they mean business.
We shall capture power to usher in prosperity for the people of Nigeria.
and some even used the opportunity to declare their ambition.
We are going back to the Villa 2019. We are going back to our villa. I'm going there. I don't know how many of you will be ready to follow me, but I'm going to the villa.
Amidst the 2019 agenda, the performance of the ruling APC comes under scrutiny.
Nigeria and Nigerians entered one chance.
Corruption is not a Nigerian invention, but PDP has been fighting corruption. We must distinguish between fighting corruption and persecution. They are two different things.
Perhaps one of the major highlights for many here is the moment the former President Goodluck Jonathan took to the podium. He began with a defense of some of his government's performance.
Did we see food price increase in 2012? We had a major national disaster. Still, food prices were stable under the PDP. I was told that some people were insinuating that if PDP had stayed in power, the economy would have been worse off, and I laughed. We had a strong team that was managing the economy of this country.
And then he drops the bombshell.
We are ready to take over the presidency. PDP is back. PDP is the only party that can take Nigeria to greatness. I believe in the PDP. I believe in the PDP. Even God believes in the PDP.
Coming back to power in 2019 seems to be a major agenda of the People's Democratic Party, a party many Nigerians have tested their capacity to rule for over 16 years. How far the party can try and push its luck at the polls will be tested yet again at the polls in 2019. From the Eagle Square in Abuja, Sheon Kimbaloye reporting for Channels Television News.
Now that the People's Democratic Party has concluded its non-elective convention, it appears the party now has a direction. But then let's look at how the party has fared since it was formed.
Since the Supreme Court delivered its judgment on the People's Democratic Party leadership tussle between Senator Ahmed Makarfi and his opponent, Senator Ali Modu Sharif, on July the 12th, 2017, the National Secretariat of the People's Democratic Party has become a beehive of activities. Since that judgment was given, leaders of the PDP have continued to hold series of meetings on how to reposition the party and elect leaders that will pilot its vision. The PDP became Nigeria's first ruling party to produce a president for the federation in 1999 when the military handed over power to civilians. Between 1998 and 2015, when the PDP lost power at the central government level to the All Progressives Congress, the party had produced 10 chairmen without having to pass through the tough times it experienced since the last general elections. From 1998 to 1999, Chief Solomon Law was elected as chairman of the PDP. He was replaced by Chief Barnabas Gemade, who took charge of the party between 1999 and 2001. Chief Audu Ogbe became the chairman between 2001 and 2005, while Chief Amadu Ali chaired the party between 2005 and 2008. Vincent Ogbulafo then took over between 2008 and 2010. In 2010, Okwesileze Nwodu and then Haliru Muhammad held sway. Kawu Baraje was chairman between 2011 and 2012. Bamanga Tukur chaired the PDP between 2012 and 2014, while Adamu Muazu led the party between 2014 and 2015. For those 17 years, the PDP produced governors in over 20 states out of Nigeria's 36 states. That glory, however, dissipated in 2015 when it lost power at the central government level and won only 12 out of the 36 states. For many of the PDP members, however, there is hope on the horizon, but many political watchers are cautiously waiting to see if the non-elective convention will be a litmus test for the party to show its readiness to wrestle power from the All Progressives Congress in 2019.
In part 2, after the break, more on PDP's efforts to reposition itself. We have in our Abuja studios to speak on this the Secretary, PDP Caretaker Committee, Senator Ben Obi. Stay with us.